What's happening, everyone? TomGorian here. Welcome to Season 2 of the F124 Alpine to Glory Career Mode series. This is Episode 17, the first episode of the new season of the Alpine to Glory series. Apologies about the long break, however, nothing has really changed when it comes to the Alpine to Glory. As you can see, Frederick Vesti has signed for Williams. He's replaced Logan Sargent, and also Esteban Ocon has replaced Daniel Ricciardo at Visa Cash App RB. And as you can see again, in the Drivers' Championship, we finished 4th with 168 points, and we were miles behind Lando Norris. However, as we get ready for Season 2 of the ATG, hopefully we can try and do the double, win the Drivers' and the Constructors' titles. However, before we do that, we have to get down with the new season grid reveal. So not much is really going to be changing for Season 2. The only thing that's really changed is realistically the high inflation upgrade package, which will make upgrades a little bit more tougher to produce and also to spend for Season 2, which means upgrades will be less overpowered.
Under the bright lights of Bahrain, it is time for qualifying. Grid position up in the air. Who is going to seize the moment?
So here we go, qualifying for the new season of the F124 Alpine to Glory. I purposely wanted to wait until the sports updates for the 2024 F1 cars came out, so that the cars slightly look different compared to last season. However, none of them have really changed whatsoever. So, getting ready for qualifying. I didn't do much practice, I only did the race strategy, and that was really about it. And I did quick practice for the rest of the sessions, considering that I've pretty much got everything I need out of this game. First qualifying lap wasn't really that good. I went wide on turn 1, and I think Frederick Vesti blocked me in towards sector 3. However, now entering the final lap here in Q1, our first qualifying session, Verstappen does a 26.4 in the Red Bull. The Red Bull is still the fastest car in the Alpine to Glory. However, we are going to try and somehow make our car from the best of the rest to the fastest car. And as you can see already, at the end of, well, entering turn 4, we are just under 2 tenths up as we exit sector 1. And as you can see, green sectors, we are slightly behind for Valtteri Bottas in the Kick Sauber. However, there is some things I want to talk about. I'm a little bit annoyed how it is not hard-coded in the game that Lewis Hamilton hasn't gone to Ferrari, because that is what's happening in real life. In this save, he's still at Mercedes, and I don't think they're going to patch Hamilton going into Ferrari in the new season. However, going in towards the end of sector number 2, Frederick Vesti is once again, he's ahead of us. Charles Leclerc does a 26.2. He takes pole position here, and we're actually gaining a lot of time as we enter the final sector. As you can see, we've gained a 10.5 here as we come in towards the final corner. We're nearly 9 tenths up on our lap time. We go slightly wide in the final corner, and all that's left to do is to cross the line here in Bahrain. We are nearly a second up at 27.2 to cross the line, and that is only P12 here in Bahrain. So once again, in the new season of the driver career, qualifying is still an issue. And yeah, for some reason I just don't have qualifying pace. As you can see, just over a second away from Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, and we are 3 tenths down on Pierre Gasly Verstappen and Perez to 3, Hamilton 4th, Alonso 5th, Russell, Piastri, Norris, Gasly in 9th, Sainz and Stroll 10th and 11th with P12, which means we've got some work to do in the race if we really want to try and start Season 2 on the right foot, which is scoring points.
Months of rumour and speculation all comes to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round 1 of this year's Formula 1 World Championship. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Perez, Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Russell, Oscar Piastri, Norris, Gasly, Sainz, Stroll, Thomas, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Albon, Vesti, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Joe, and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes, delighted to say that we're joined today by Anthony Davidson. Well, welcome back after all the testing, the build-up. It all now comes down to this.
Everyone's G'd up for this one. They've done the testing, like you say. The drivers will be revving inside, heart rates going, trying to burst out their chest at this moment. With that anticipation, who's got the speed? We're going to learn now, once and for all.
So here we go, on the grid for the first race of Season 2 of the F124 Alpine to Glory. We're going to take some fuel out, 1.4 laps of fuel. That should last us until the end of the race. As far as tyre strategies are concerned, I don't really know with the career modes anymore. All I know is that for online races, it's simply a one-stop from mediums to hards. However, tyre wear gets really accelerated when you put on a lot of upgrades, especially when you enter Season 2 and Season 3 worth of upgrades. I'm depending if I should start on mediums or hards, but in the end I decide to start the race on the medium tires, and then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going hards and then mediums for the end of the race.
Right, here we go then. The formation lap gets underway as the drivers prepare themselves for the first race of a brand new Formula 1 season. Each driver will be hoping to start this season on a high note. As the cars make their way back to the starting grid to form up and get ready for lights out, let's hope the race ahead today is a thrilling one. It will go down as a memorable Grand Prix.
So here we go, getting ready for the end of the formation lap here for the first race of 2025 in the Alpine to Glory. Pierre Gasly has out-qualified us. As you can see, all the cars now look different. However, ours still has the same objective, to try and win the World Championship here in the second season. It might be a little bit more difficult. However, let's see what we can do from 12th on the grid, ready for the Season 2 opener here in Bahrain. Long hold, but away we go for the first race of the Alpine to Glory Season 2. Gasly has not had a good start. We haven't had a good start either. A bit of a loose back end there. As you can see, Yuki Tsunoda tries to go around the outside. We're kind of boxed in towards turn 1. We're going to go around the outside of Lance Stroll and also Lando Norris as well. We're already into P7 as we go in towards turn number 4 up the hill. As you can see, Oscar Piastri, down the inside we go of the McLaren and also the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz, and we are now already in towards P7. It's a good start from us though, as Verstappen and Charles Leclerc are already miles ahead. Who's that in P... is that... I have no idea who that is. That's Fernando Alonso in P3 as we go down the inside of George Russell. As we enter Sector 2, it's side by side between us and the Mercedes as we go in towards the double left-hander. Let's see if we can try and hold it around the outside, and we do hold it around the outside. That was actually a good move from us there as we now cut in towards the end of, well, pretty much nearing the end of lap number 2, and as you can see, there's yellow flag. That is one of the McLarens. It's not Oscar Piastri, because Piastri is behind George Russell. It's Lando Norris. That Mercedes engine has failed him, and he is out of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Not the start that the McLaren driver had wanted, and as you can see, engine failure, not what you want in the first race of the season. Just ask Daniel Ricciardo that. Lap 4, and as you can see, George Russell, he's flashing batteries trying to save. However, we're going to go around the outside in towards turn 1, and you're going to be seeing a lot of that line as the video and the race goes on. A lot of times in this race where the AI go defensive when they don't need to be, and I just sweep around the outside. As you can see, here's another example, 30.6 for that previous lap. On the soft tyres, Perez once again goes defensive as Alonso and Hamilton go side by side in towards turn 1. Round the outside we go of Sergio Perez. However, he is nothing for us, and we make the move stick. We are now in towards P5, and our race pace is actually quite decent. Obviously, we're not going to be competing with the likes of Verstappen or Charles Leclerc. However, if luck goes our way, we could actually get onto the podium. Maybe. Hamilton goes defensive there. We could have really tried to centre on the 7-time world champion. However, he was too far behind. However, throughout traction, we do get Fernando Alonso. Back end sticks out just a little bit too much there. However, that is P4 in this race. So we are picking up where we left off here in Season 1 for Season 2. And now on the beginning of lap 8, it looks like we're going to try and get Lewis Hamilton on the start-finish straight again. He goes defensive once again, and we're going to try and go around the outside in towards turn 1. We're going to get the momentum. However, Hamilton sticks out. We lose the back end now, and that is not what we needed. We lost the position to Hamilton, and we've now also lost position to Fernando Alonso, and we have to cover off Sergio Perez as we go in towards turn 4. Now on the next lap, we're going to box for our first of 2 stops here in this race. We're going to go from the soft tyres. I said that we were going to start on the mediums. We started on the soft tyres, so we're going to go from the softs to the hards for this first stop, and then we're going to go from the hards to the mediums for the end of the race. As you can see, George Russell, Sergio Perez, they've boxed 4 medium tyres, and there's a couple others. I think one of the Saubers, they've also boxed. I think that was Zhou Guan Yu, he boxed 4 mediums as well. However, lap 10, a lot of people are coming in for the medium tyres, and as you can see, it's a bit of a 3 wide situation between us, Russell, and also Perez. Hamilton has actually jumped us in the box, so that's not good news, unfortunately for us, and we've lost 2 positions to George and also Sergio Perez. We're going to try and use the DRS to go around the outside in towards turn 4 of Sergio Perez, and we actually do get the move sticky. He's actually still there as we enter the S section, and we've overtaken the Red Bull driver. However, because we were battling with Sergio Perez, we've actually lost time to the Mercedes, and as you can see, we are 1.5 seconds down on our best lap time as Sergio Perez gets us back. And now, because we are on the hard tyre, we are now getting absolutely molested by the Aston Martin of Fernando Alonso. The podium wasn't really the objective for this race. However, if we can finish maybe in the top 7 or even in the top 8, then that's the goal of this race, to see where we are, to see where our car is in the first race, and then we can advance and make a step forward as we enter Saudi Arabia. The next 5 laps after the stop, we tried to just use Fernando Alonso for the DRS, and as you can see, lap 17, we overtake Fernando Alonso for 6th place in this race, and hopefully we should be boxing in the next 2 or 3 laps. However, lap 18 onwards to 19, George Russell boxes from the lead, and we take the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. We lead a race for the first time this season, and now we get to see what our car is like in clean air. However, we are not going to be competing against Max Verstappen or Charles Leclerc or even Carlos Sainz for the race victory. Our race, at best, looks like 4th place, maybe, if Hamilton does get a DNF from an engine failure. However, 2.5 second stop means that we are going to have the last 9 laps of this race on the medium tyres. And now let's see where we are. We lose position to Hamilton, and as you can see, there is Russell and also Alonso. So we come out P6 here in Bahrain with only 7 laps to go, and now the chase is on, and it begins with DRS. We've tried, we've burnt our battery, purple sector 3 by the way, as we do a 29.6, which is what, that's half a thousandth slower than Verstappen's fastest lap of the race. So we do have actually decent pace there, as we set 29.9 for this lap, so we are setting the same pace as the race leader. Alonso goes defensive. We're going to go round the outside in towards turn 1, the same move we've done pretty much every single overtake we've done in this race, and we've mugged off Fernando Alonso. That's P5 here in Bahrain, and now we can try and set our sights on George Russell on lap 26, as they give us the objective to overtake George Russell. And as you can see, DRS plus hot lap overtake. He goes defensive once again, but it's no use. We just have the grip. We slightly lose the back end there on the entry of turn 1, and we have to try and do something. I didn't think, Russell actually does get DRS from there, but he is saving battery, so we're going to have a second chance at the cherry, a second bite of the cherry around the outside in towards turn 4. It's will to will between us and George Russell. Are we going to be ahead? Yes, we are. We overtake George Russell, and that is that. However, Fernando does seem very aggressive in towards the final corner. However, he can't make the move stick. Max Verstappen wins the Bahrain Grand Prix with Charles Leclerc second. Hamilton will finish in 4th. However, we start season 2 in 4th place.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
It's always box office when this man's at the front. Max Verstappen takes the checkered flag.
Well, you're always unsure of the competition and what your opponents have been able to do in the off-season, but they've come here today, they've delivered the performance that you dream about, and wow, did they make that car sing today. Really impressive stuff.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be proud of the victory they've secured here.
So Max Verstappen wins in Bahrain once again, and Red Bull seem like the clear favourites in this season of the Alpine to glory. However, our car is definitely better. We definitely have more downforce, and we definitely have less drag on the straights, meaning that we are slightly competitive even if we do have a Renault engine in the back of the car. There is still work to do, of course, with the chassis and also just with the balance of the car. Too many times where the back end was just stepping out all weekend. However, a double points finish, considering where we were at the start of Season 1, is a major improvement, considering how bad the Alpine car is. But that is that for the first race of Season 2 of the Alpine to glory. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more F1 24 career mode, Alpine to glory content, and yeah, this is the first of a long journey as we try to win the Drivers' Championship. I'll see ya in the next video, in a bit.